Good evening to you and thank you for joining us on News 360. As always, it is live from Adesawe in Kanda, Accra. I am Aisha Yakubu Hali.
And I am Noble Crosbyanan, and these are the headlines of the bulletin tonight.
360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank.
Media Generals Godwin Asidiba wins Journalist of the Year Award at the 29th Ghana Journalists Association Awards event in Kumasi.
President John Dramani Mahama warns community members who attack security officials on illegal mining duties will be dealt with.
Meanwhile, National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat NIMOS Task Force arrests 36 illegal miners at Osino in the Fantiakwa South District of the Eastern Region.
In the bulletin tonight, we are in Sekondi Takrady, where a new commuter train, once hailed as a game changer for transport, has been abandoned, leaving behind silent railway tracks and frustrated commuters.
And in international news, President Donald Trump reveals the U.S. will not attend the G20 summit in South Africa over widely discredited claims that white people are being persecuted in the country.
You're welcome to the broadcast. We're live also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. Join us. Let's get interactive there. But let's start the bulletin on a very exciting note.
Media Generals Godwin Asidiba has won the Journalist of the Year Award during the 29th GJ Awards event. Godwin Asidiba was also adjudged as having submitted the best documentaries for television. Acting head of the Health Desk, Sarah Pencrow, also won the best feature category.
There she emerges with very confident strides. Shall we continue to celebrate her with applause as she makes her way here? Who are making inroads into the industry and wanting to make a name, and also, most importantly, impact. We congratulate you one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, one more big round of applause.
Media General, congratulations to you.
Can we keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen? Godwin Asidiba.
Godwin is all the way in London, I believe, but this is very able to. Congratulations, Godwin, wherever you are. Well done. And congratulations to Media General.
Yet, as we celebrate, we cannot ignore the harassment our profession faces. And days ago, journalists were injured in a road accident while covering illegal mining with the EPA in the Ashanti region. These attacks distort democracy itself. When journalists are silenced, corruption thrives. Past governments have fought Galamsey but lost lives, including the unforgettable helicopter crash. Demand priority action. No story is worth a life, but no society is safe when truth is buried.
Now, here are excerpts of that story which won Godwin Asidiba the Journalist of the Year.
During my previous visit, I encountered a group of young girls walking to school barefoot and unaccompanied, enduring the scorching heat. Wumbe, a 4-year-old in primary 1, was not only attending classes but also looking after her 9-month-old brother and 2-year-old sister. This long-standing tradition of siblings taking care of each other has posed significant challenges to their education.
And of course, we'll be speaking with the 2024 Journalist of the Year, Godwin Asidiba, pretty shortly, right here on TV3, also on all our social media platforms. So stay with us here on News 360. That conversation will happen. What a year it has been for Godwin Asediba. But before we bring you that, let's do some other stories.
While we wait for Godwin, we head to Atikpui in the whole municipality of the Volta region, where residents continue to draw water from unwholesome sources amidst increasing cases of typhoid infections. Correspondent Faisal Abdul Idrisu reports that residents are appealing to government to extend clean, potable water to the community.
Access to potable drinking water has been an age-long problem that has confronted residents of Atikpui. The community, located on the extreme end of the eastern borders of the whole municipality, depends on the untreated Vuto stream, serving as the most reliable source of water for residents.
This is the only water we have, but people swim in it and do all kinds of things with it. Even our household latrines are closer to the stream, and it is exposed to all kinds of impurities.
Even the color will tell you that its impurity level is very high, in the sense that that's the only water we fetch to drink, wash our things, even cook with. And most of the times, people even bath in it.
The state of the community's water resources is believed to be accountable for a surge in typhoid and cholera cases among residents lately.
Our cases here regarding to typhoid fever has been alarming. When clients come to the facility, we do malaria tests for them. It turns out to be negative. Then, because of the signs and symptoms that looks like typhoid fever, we refer them to the lab at home to go and do the test. When they come back with the result, it turns out to be positive. So we can boldly say that our source of water, which is the Vuto stream, has been the cause of the typhoid fever.
When we go to the health facility, they caution us against the use of the Vuto stream because we are exposed to all kinds of diseases, but we do not have a choice.
In 2022, a group of students from the US attempted resolving the challenge by drilling a mechanized borehole in the community, but the problem still persists.
It's not enough for us. Looking at the population of this community, it's only a few people, and then the rest will still go back to the main source, of which we are avoiding. During the outdooring of Togbiga Yao Aji IV, the paramount chief for Atikpui, the chiefs and elders made a special appeal to government.
If you see a community that cannot even boast on potable drinking water, there is an apology. So with this chief, our appeal to government is that we have a very stable community to be given a potable drinking water.
Without a clean drinking water, residents fear the worst may happen as far as their health is concerned. Faisal Abdul Idrisu, TV3 News.
Let's bring you some more stories tonight. And President John Dramani Mahama has been speaking about the happenings of illegal mining in the various communities. Well, he sent a strong warning to community members who attack security officials on illegal mining duties. He says they will be dealt with. Speaking at the 29th Ghana Journalists Association, the JJ Awards in Kumasi, President Mahama noted government will not relent in the fight against illegal mining.
The fight against illegal mining is complex and challenging. Illegal mining has so deeply ingrained itself in the fabric of our society that despite the obvious damage it causes to our environment, entire communities mobilize and confront security personnel when they arrive to combat illegal mining operations in their areas. Only yesterday, I received news of an accident in which some journalists were injured as they retreated from a community mob attack on EPA officials and security officers. I wish to notify communities that attack public officials and security personnel performing their lawful duties that firm action will be taken against them. Yesterday, upon receipt of the news, I instructed the Chief of Staff to contact the journalists who were injured to check on their health and assist with settling any hospital bills incurred. I can understand that our young people have been deprived of opportunity over the years. But destroying the environment is like cutting off your nose to spite your face. The government is working hard to stabilize and grow the economy in order to create a conducive environment for job creation and employment. And that is why we're implementing the 24-hour economy initiative, the Feed Ghana program, the Poultry Revitalization program, the National Apprenticeship program, the Million Coders program, amongst many others, which are intended to create opportunities for alternative livelihoods, especially for our young people program, and the Blue Water Guards initiative.
We'll bring you more Galamsey stories later, but for now, we have been joined by the 2025 GJA Journalist of the Year, Godwin Asidiba. He is interning with the BBC, so he's currently in London. Godwin, congratulations to you.
Congratulations to you, Godwin.
Feeling
Well
excited,
done.
How are you feeling?
Thank you so much. I'm sure you can clearly tell from my reaction how I feel. This is humbling. This is it for me. I am really happy. I feel all the hard work that I've put into telling the stories. It's, you know, everything is coming into fruition. I feel accomplished. I am really happy. I am really, really happy. And I'm just hoping that a lot of journalists, especially the younger ones, will be inspired by the stories that I tell. One thing that I would always say is that you should dare to be different. And once you go with that line and also put in the work, you will definitely stand out and be like me one day. But the most important thing is for you to tell the story, tell the truth, and also ensure that everything that you serve to the viewers is something that is compelling and is going to stick to their minds.
For you, no doubt, the whole world knows about it. But tell us, what keeps you going, to keep you motivated, to keep adding on to the achievements, on the stories you're churning out? What is motivating you?
I think what actually really motivates me is the ability to want to tell the truth. I can't stand to see people suffer when their organizations or the right authorities who are supposed to do the work that they're supposed to do. So I intend to always use my power as a journalist to bring attention to all of those details and ask the right people the right questions to get the table shaking for them to do what they're supposed to do. I mean, we are all in this world living our lives, but in as much as we are doing that, there are others who go through a lot of challenges that ordinarily or on a regular day, you shouldn't see these people go through most of those challenges because there are regulations, there are rules that are being put in place. And we have people who are in charge in ensuring that these rules are being, guarded and things are being done properly. So once they are relaxed and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, that is where I come in, and then I ask the tough questions and get the answers as well. But most importantly, whilst I thrive to get the stories told, I also demand answers and also solutions at the end of the day. So that's what I'm all about, and I'm actually really happy that, I've been crowned as the Journalist of the Year, and this is just the beginning.
But Godwin, considering all of the awards you've won since the beginning of the year, did you see this coming? Journalist of the Year 2025.
I didn't see this coming. I know that the Ghana Journalists Association would give an award to someone who is well deserved of it. I filed my stories for health and documentary category. Usually for the Journalist of the Year, I think it takes the panel to have a decision on that. So I knew that I might get an award from either the documentary or the health side. But I was fortunate tonight to also win the Best Documentary Reporter of the Year, because most of the things that I do at Media General is to tell my documentaries that are groundbreaking and revealing as well. So I didn't see this coming. It's actually a surprise, and I accepted with my full chest. I'm really happy and satisfied.
Good to know. But before we let you go, I must say that it's good your accent is still the same. But let's talk about this.
Well, I could actually give you the UK accent, but I just want to...
Let's hold on to that for now. But I mean, I'm sure this is the beginning of a lot more to come, like you mentioned. So after the internship with the BBC, what next for Godwin Asediba?
Do you really want me to say this here?
Tell us about it. Break the ice.
Well, I mean, I will say that Media General has really played a huge role in my growth. I met a lot of people who believed in my craft at Media General, who gave me room to thrive and be myself. It didn't make me question my talent. It didn't make me question my ability on how I could do things. So I felt all of that freedom that I had, made me put a lot of work into my storytelling. And I'm sure when you watch my stories, you get to see all of that. And I really want to use this opportunity to thank everyone from the board to the newsroom to my immediate bosses who have supervised the works that I've done. I am really grateful, because if I had not gotten that opportunity to feel free and tell stories as they should be told, I wouldn't have been here today. So I will give it all to Media General for allowing me do what I can do best and being the journalist of the year today. I'm really grateful for that.
Well, congratulations once again, Godwin.
We're proud of you.
We are also
so
proud of you.
Yeah.
And we wish you many more successes.
Celebrate
Congrats.
it. Celebrate the win. Godwin Asediba.
We're waiting for you. The venue is ready for the party.
I'm coming back.
Godwin Asediba speaking to us from London. He is the 2024 Ghana Journalist of the Year. Huge congratulations to you, Godwin Asediba. Asha, let's bring you some more stories.
We're moving on to some more stories this evening. The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS Task Force, has arrested 36 illegal miners at Osino in the Fantiakwa South District of the Eastern Region. The suspects have since been transferred to Accra for further investigations and court processing.
The NIMOS Task Force operations took place in the night at Osino and Enyinem in the Fantiakwa South District, where vast stretches of arable lands and farmlands have been destroyed, with river bodies heavily polluted. The Ghana Water Company Limited treatment plant serving the area has long been shut down due to extremely high turbidity levels of intake source. The illegal miners are now encroaching on residential areas, mining within the communities, and carrying out mining activities dangerously close to homes. The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat Task Force returned to the region as part of renewed efforts to clamp down on illegal mining activities. Out of the 36 suspects apprehended by the task force, 32 are Nigerian nationals, while 4 are locals. The 32 foreign nationals are to be handed over to the Ghana Immigration Service for processing, while the local suspect face court proceedings. The owners of the concessions are currently on the run, but the task force have picked their valuables to ensure they tender themselves in to face full rigors of the law.
They are buying houses and mining them. People's rooms, people's houses are being mined illegally, because nobody will authorize or will give you any license to go and mine in homes. And then there is there's a kingpin in the area, and I can assure everybody, if you are doing illegal mining, that the men are not going to leave now.
The NIMOS Task Force banned mining equipment and disarmed a group of machete-wielding men who attempted to attack and resist arrest of illegal miners. The Eastern Regional National Security Liaison Officer Frank Anadompre says the exercise will continue unabated and warned any form of attack on security personnel will be met with brute force.
Now, it's not like 10 soldiers will come, no. Even these ones, we are going to add more. More soldiers are going to be thrown in. So that if you think you can mobilize and attack them, so that the men will recoil, we will no longer operate. Trust me, we will come after you. We will make sure there is sanity, there is peace for our people to live.
The NIMOS activity in the region and across the country as part of efforts to protect the environment and water bodies from further degradation caused by illegal mining. Meanwhile, the government has a social contract to meet the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 6 and 15 on halting biodiversity while restoring and protecting ecosystems by the year 2030. Yvonne Nyekwe, TV3 News, Osino.
Well, let's still stay on matters concerning illegal mining because Blue Water Guards, in collaboration with the police and immigration on the 7th of November 2025, conducted a successful operation at dominance along the Ankobra River in the Inzma East area. The team targeted illegal mining activities resulting in the destruction of 100 champagne machines and 50 blankets, which were all burnt on site. Now, during the operation, authorities seized 5 blankets and arrested 2 suspects. The coordinated effort highlights the commitment of security agencies to curbing activities of illegal mining, whose activities continue to degrade and pollute water bodies and the environment in general.
Also, government's approach to dealing with the menace of illegal small-scale mining continues to come under scrutiny. This follows consistent attacks by these environmental terrorists on security agencies and journalists, with lands and water bodies continuing to be destroyed and persons injured in the course of their work. Calls are intensifying for much more tougher approach to the illegal mining fight. The following report has more.
On Saturday, the Director of Operations of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, Colonel Dominic Bois, and his team were attacked by irritated youth at Hwidim in the Ahafo region. Go. The Member of Parliament for Esutifi North, Ebenezer Kweku Ado, was subsequently arraigned for his alleged role in mobilizing the gang and later granted bail of 150,000 Ghana cedis with one surety to be justified. Then on Thursday, November 6, heavily armed illegal miners attacked journalists and staff of the Environmental Protection Authority at Dajuni, a community near Obuase in the Ashanti region. The severity of the attack forced the EPA team and the accompanying media personnel to retreat. The accident, which happened later at Afare, left several people injured. These attacks are just a few perpetrated by illegal miners against state agencies, journalists and civilians doing their best to fight illegal mining. Coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens, Awula Sewa, says political will to tackle illegal small-scale mining is lacking.
We need to have the political will, the commitment, but there has to be a measured professional response. Otherwise, you are emboldening other environmental terrorists and telling them that if they show force, will retreat, run away, and they can continue doing what they are doing.
A former member of parliament for Asante Achim North, Kwame Andiapia Kubi, says there is a need to depoliticize the fight against illegal mining.
I think that the time has come for us to reorient the communities to support this initiative. And please, let's not point political fingers. Once you go political, you lose the fight. So let us not attempt to be blaming one person because of his political lineage or the other. And let's see the problem as a problem confronting all of us as a nation.
A stalwart of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Arthur Kobina Kennedy, urged the government to ensure sufficient force is used to recover the forest reserves.
I talk to people in the highest levels of government that it does not have sufficient resources. I think when we say we are using force, we should use sufficient force. But respectfully, when Kofi Benzo says the Galamsey has become a fight for us in Accra, with people sit in Accra and talk, yes, the people in Accra are also members of parliament. They are the government. That is why people talk about it in Accra. And the generals also still sit in Accra.
The CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, Godwin Eduji Tamaklu, has said that President Mahama has demonstrated enough commitment to the fight against illegal mining.
A president comes to office and finds that
his predecessor, under his watch, the Ministry of Environment and Science, together with EPA, sponsored an airline, which airline specifically gave the President of the Republic the authority and mandate to grant a mining lease and permit to mine in a forest reserve. Has he issued any mining lease to mine in any of our forest reserve?
For the Vice President of Imani Africa, Kofi Bento, until the issue of Galamsey is seen from the perspective of organized international crime and tackled as such, the fight will not be won.
We are joking with the Galamsey fight. When I say we, I mean the government. When you are dealing with Galamsey people, and we have said it, I have said it here and other places, Galamsey is no longer a civil law enforcement issue. Galamsey is organized international crime involving armed insurgents and internal people who constitute terrorists or what you call internal aggression.
These incidents continue to pile pressure on the government to shift from its current approach, which is yet to achieve the needed impact, to a more dramatic move to deal with the perpetrators of environmental terrorism. The fight against illegal mining must intensify to safeguard public health, livelihoods of rural folks who depend on the land, and the protection of the environment for future generations.
To another story that demands government attention, this time in the arena of transport. It is a story of bright promise and swift decay from Sekondi Takoradi. Just a few years ago, a new commuter train that serves linked Sekondi and Takoradi, offering a faster, cheaper alternative to the area's traffic and a boost to its economy. But that service has now totally collapsed, leaving behind a silent rail track and a legacy of broken promises. Irama Smith has more in this report.
The rumble of wheels on steel and the deep blast of its horn evokes memories of Ghana's railway heyday in the 1970s and 80s. For the older generation, there is a wave of nostalgia. For the young, a novel adventure with children boarding in wide-eyed excitement. This was the revived Sekondi Takoradi line, not merely a track, but the birthplace of Ghana's railway system, originally built to transport minerals to the coast. Commissioned with ceremony by President John Dramani Mahama, promised harbour residents a reliable and affordable commute. With brand new trains and fares capped at a few cities, patronage grew steadily, heralding what many hoped was a renaissance for rail travel in Ghana. Passenger service was entirely dependent on freight revenue, and the haulage of manganese from Insuta was its financial lifeline. The deterioration of these freight lines and the subsequent halt of manganese trains crippled the company's finances. This collapse revealed a critical systemic flaw. The passenger service was not economically viable on its own. Consequently, by 2020, with its freight backbone gone, the diesel multiple unit DMUs at Sekondi were silenced.
From Kwame Nkrumah's time and even through Achampon's time, railways have always received subvention from government for operations. This is what we came to meet and work with. So it is government who determines the fare for rail transport, and we use that to buy fuel, but this is not forthcoming. Before the elections in 2016, we were working, but this came to a halt in 2016 because the government said it would not pay any subvention.
Today, the two terminals stand as pale shadows of their former selves. In Sekondi, the diesel multiple unit DMUs sit idle and scavenged, their copper pipes and air conditioning units stripped away. Passenger bays lie open to the elements, their roofs torn apart, while weeds and rust claim the tracks. The scene at Kojokrom is equally desolate. A terminal built for the hassle of commuters now stands frozen in time, a stark monument to neglect. Together, these sites paint a poignant picture of decline, symbolizing a cycle that has plagued Ghana's railways, ambitious launches that inevitably fade into abandonment.
For now, the railway system
The passenger train system's inefficiency has made Kojokom less vibrant than it used to. If the government wants to leave a lasting legacy, it should complete our train service. A majority of students along the train line relied on this service to get to school. Now, it has become a white elephant.
According to secondary railway workers, the government's decision to prioritize the construction of the passenger-only Eastern Line over the Western Line represents a critical misallocation of resources.
I cannot understand why the rail line to Nsuta has been abandoned. Sekendi is the headquarters of the railways, so we have the workforce. If the government focused its attention on reviving this line to haul manganese from Nsuta, we could even expand the service and employ more.
Emmanuel, a railway worker, describes government's decision to transfer rail workers from the western to the eastern corridor as a betrayal of the western workforce.
It should maintain the workers here, go the western corridor for us.
Notwithstanding these challenges, information gathered by TV3 News confirms that government has approved the dismantling of the historic narrow-gauge line between Takoradi Port and Takwa. Member of Parliament for Sikado Ketan and Deputy Minister for Health, Dr. Grace Ayinsu Dankwa, a passionate advocate for the development of the Sekendi Takoradi metropolis, believes reviving the Western Rail Line would significantly help decongest the region's roads.
I think there are two things in the Western Region Metro. It's the Western Line as well as the port. If we have a port and you have a railway line that is bringing all your goods and services in and out of the port, I think it will be very helpful and also decongest our roads and let our roads last longer, decongest traffic, let movement flow, and then our goods and services can move by the rail and the port.
Passenger revival is directly tied to this expansion. Restoring the line to Takwa would reconnect mining towns to the port and create a compelling case for frequent suburban service. More connected towns mean higher ridership and greater fare revenue, creating a far more sustainable model than the previous shuttle. Irama Smith, TV3 News, Kojokom.
You're watching News 360 live from our studio theatre at the Subway Kanda in Accra. We're going for a break. We are back with more stories. Stay with us.
Why are more and more professionals choosing Flamingo paint?
As an interior decorator, I aim for the beautiful against look. Flamingo paint has great hiding ability
Thank you for staying with us on News 360. Let's now bring you some more stories. Reconstruction and expansion work on the Accra-Tema Motorway has reached 30% completion according to the contractors. Visit to the site Friday afternoon saw major excavation works ongoing, but commuters have complained it has become more dangerous to cross the road due to inadequate demarcation.
At the Manet section of the motorway, commuters cross over from Manet towards Adringano and other adjoining communities. But crossing the road is a major challenge as one has to be extra vigilant to avoid being knocked down by speeding vehicles. Almost every week, pedestrians are knocked down. The expansion works on the 19.5-kilometer motorway includes the construction of some 5 interchanges. One of such interchanges is situated at the Manet section of the motorway. Some commuters spoke about the challenges they are faced with when crossing the road.
You see the people crossing this road, and some of the time you see, what was the last? Is it last 2 months? A car knocked someone who is in my community here. And there's nothing to say, there's nothing people said about that thing. And you see that people cross here from 6 to 6, and there's no one here to help the people to cross this road. And in fact, sometimes I'll just come from the house, come and stand here, just watching. Just watching how people are crossing the road, and it's painful.
We will need someone to, help us when crossing the road.
Another concern raised by drivers is the hours spent in traffic due to diversion on the stretch. The drivers have made this appeal to the contractor.
I feel the road should be re-gravelled well to create a better surface for us motorists to drive on it in a much better way. Because looking at this thing, it's causing a lot of traffic, and you can see for yourself what you are seeing. And I feel the road should be well graded because this is a multi-dollar project, and I feel it should be done better.
The news team visited the offices of the construction firm for an explanation. Speaking off camera, the resident engineer said the company is in the process of asphalting all diverted routes to ensure the free flow of traffic. The motorway was constructed under the administration of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and commissioned in 1965 to connect Accra with the new industrial city of Tema. The expansion works, when completed, will see the highway developed into 10 lanes from the initial 4-lane. The scope of work of the project includes the construction of Tetekwashi to Apenkwa, the remodeling of the Tetekwashi, Apenkwa and Achimota interchanges, construction of 5 new interchanges and pedestrians footbridges.
According to the construction company, work is progressing on schedule. The report, about 30% of the construction work has already been completed. They are optimistic within the next 25 months they will fully complete this construction work. They are only appealing to pedestrians and commuters and road users to bear with them as they divert portions of the road for smooth construction. Joseph Armstrong, Go Daligwe TV3, Accra.
Now, the Ghana AIDS Commission is to roll out condom dispensing machines at strategic locations, particularly during events where young people gather following a concerning trend of a decline in condom use. This comes as the country grapples with a significant number of new HIV infections, with some 15,290 cases recorded in 2024 alone. A report by Sarah Apenkro.
Condom use is an essential aspect of sexual health and well-being. Condoms are an effective means of preventing the transmission of sexually transmitted infections, STIs, and unintended pregnancy. However, as advocacy increases on reproductive health, findings by health authorities reveal a decline in its use among the youth. The National AIDS Commission is worried, especially as new HIV infections are disproportionately affecting the youth.
We know, from all the surveys that have been done, the condom use is low, particularly among the youth. people now fear pregnancy more than HIV/AIDS, and so it's something that we have taken note of.
To combat this trend, the Ghana AIDS Commission is exploring innovative solutions. One such initiative is a rollout of condom dispensing machines at strategic locations, particularly during events where young people gather.
Condom accessibility is a big problem. You know, most often people don't just buy condoms because you go to the pharmacy, you say, oh, can I get a condom? You look at you from head to toe and say, and that is a part of stigma of condom use. But if we make it just accessible, I mean, in a very vantage place, be it a drinking bar, the sports stadium, nightclubs, I mean, you just go and drop your coin there, comes 3 packs come to you, and it's in your pocket, and you're ready to use. It's discreet, it's exclusive, and you don't have to face that stigma.
Ernestina, a worker at a pharmacy, is privy to some techniques used by persons to buy condoms.
Sometimes those young guys, they just come and point because it's facing the point. But the elderly people, they just come. They say they are buying CD or condom. That's all.
But why are the youth refusing to use condoms? We hit the streets.
Normal, the shy. So like maybe I go feed you my eye and talk. Mortis, you know for shy. You just for go by. Like you reach that and you base.
It's like you be shy, but please, do you have condom? Then the person will be like, you see.
I don't need it. Nah, what am I needing it for?
Oh, make a pharmacy now. Me catch them and say, "You be no smart."
Currently, there are over 334,000 persons living with HIV in the country. This year's World AIDS Day is being held on the theme Overcoming Disruption, Transforming the AIDS Response.
News360 returns with some sports news after this.
When you're going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint champion.
Sasso insecticide spray and coil.
It's time for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alote. We start off with a much-anticipated super clash between Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. The game takes place tomorrow at the Accra Sports Stadium and is set for 4 p.m. With both teams currently unbeaten in the Ghana Premier League, fans are unrelenting in their belief that their respective teams will win. But as we know, there can only be one winner.
Kotoko for now looks a better team than Accra Hearts of Oak, honestly. As of folk, they claim they haven't lost a match yet, but the point is, when you play 10 matches and you play 10 draws, you get 10 points. If you play 10 matches, you win 5 and you lose 5, you get 15 points. So Kotoko can be losing. As folk can boast of being unbeaten, but when you lose 5 and you win 5, you get 15. 10 draws give you 10 points. So I prefer to lose 5 and win 5 than to, this is their arithmetic. To me, I disagree. The point is, Kotoko stands a better chance of winning.
It's going to be Accra Hearts of Oak. You know, we're already beating them at Legon. The best performance for Kotoko will be a draw. They are not winning this particular Sunday. Hearts is winning. We are beating them by 2-0.
Oh, Hearts are my Kotoko beat match 2-1.
Hearts and Kotoko de blah. Where you be any home. Hearts be Kotoko by 3.
And I had a Kotoko be winning. Because BBI no match as a House of Oak beating Hasha.
Kotoko has the now Kotoko de Somada. Kotoko da. Kotoko do Mada Bosu.
I didn't try. Kotoko no bad ben. Also come up in Beba. Nanso so young cram for your child said, Oak tree never die. Ah, Rosa, Rosa, Rose. Be quiet and not be silly. We are the famous Asofo. We never say that. We never say that.
Clearly, the stakes of the super clash are very high. Coach of the Porcupine Warriors, Abdul Karim Zito, admits it is one of the most difficult fixtures, but his game plan is to capitalize on the weaknesses of Accra Hearts of Oak. Meanwhile, coach of the Phobians, Didi Dramani, acknowledges that Asante Kotoko are tough opponents with experience. However, his players are poised to tap into their strength as a team.
Folk and Kotoko, everybody knows how the game is. It is one of the best and one of the most difficult game of between the two. So everybody wants to win, just as we are going there with the mindset of winning. So it's like you plan against the best side of your opponent and then capitalize on the weaker side. So this is what we are doing in short to meet Hearts of Oak. Didi is a fantastic coach. We beat him one. He also had us during the gala. So this is the third one to prove to him that maybe the gala, as I said, to me the top 4, it wasn't. The timing was very bad for Kotoko. Automatically, we are going there with a mindset of beating him at the end of the day.
I think that Kotoko is a prevailing side, and Kotoko, you can believe that has been very tough opponent, all year, and they have the experience and they have the pedigree of depth in squad, and you need to acknowledge that, and every team can concede, and every team has its strengths and they have their weaknesses. Definitely, we will work against our strengths, and then we will work against the weakness of the opponent, and then we will try to respect the strength of the opponent, and then try to try as much as possible to control, when the opponent is strong in an aspect. But I see it just to be one of the games, and then I see it to be an important game and an important feature in terms of what we want to do in the season, and so it's one of the league features, and then we want to remain very sustainable.
Wishing both teams the best of luck for tomorrow. Let's move on to game week 11 of the English Premier League. Arsenal were almost left singing a painful ballad at the Stadium of Light. However, the Gunners managed to crawl out of Sunderland's hold with a 2-2 draw. Elsewhere, Tottenham and Manchester United also walked away with a point each following a 2-2 draw. That will be all for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alote. Up next is entertainment news.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by GTP Lifestyle
and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Powered by 3 Entertainment.
In entertainment news this evening, founder of the Pan-African Heritage Museum, Professor Kojo Yanka, says the museum will serve as a hub for preserving and promoting African culture and heritage. Speaking to 3 Entertainment, he explained that the project will not only showcase galleries of African art and crafts, but also serve as an epicenter for cultural practices from across the continent.
Headliners did not disappoint as they combined their musical strength to thrill patrons at the concert. Hosted at the Accra International Conference Center, the star-studded event featured performances from multiple Grammy nominee and global music icon Rocky Dawuni, the legendary Jidubli Ambole, and Ochiame Kwame. The event was organized to raise support for the Pan-African Heritage Museum, a visionary cultural initiative dedicated to educating, inspiring and healing through exhibitions that celebrate the history, culture and achievements of Africans and people of African descent. Several arts pieces and books were sold in support of the project.
You can see other African legends here.
Founder of the Pan-African Heritage Museum, Professor Kojo Yanka, said the museum will serve as a home for African cultural preservation and heritage. He added that the project will not only display galleries of art and craft, but also serve as an epicenter for cultural practices from across the continent.
If we tell our own story, our children, our children's children will continue to come here to know about themselves. This is a place where you're going to have not only galleries of art, crafts, and so on, but you also have an immersive cultural practices from all over the continent, from contemporary Africa, from various parts of the world. As long as people of African descent live there, in South America, in India, in the Pacific, in the Caribbean, they're all going to find this a home. And so Ghana is going to benefit from us perpetually. So it is not a personal glory. I think it's just only a career of a mission to let our people rediscover themselves, for people to now see their civilization reborn. It's going to educate people. It's going to heal us of all the differences that have happened over the period, and it's going to inspire future generations.
Let's now bring you some news outside the Ghanaian border.
Donald Trump has said U.S. will not attend the G20 summit in South Africa over widely discredited claims that white people are being persecuted in the country. The U.S. president said it was a total disgrace that South Africa is hosting the meeting where leaders from the world's largest economies will gather in Johannesburg later this month. South Africa's foreign ministry described the decision by the White House as regrettable. None of South Africa's political parties, including those that represented the Afrikaners and the white community in general, have claimed that there is a genocide in South Africa. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said that work is underway on President Vladimir Putin's order to prepare proposals for a possible Russian nuclear test. The order was in response to President Donald Trump's surprise announcement last week that the U.S. resumed testing. Russia's state news agency TASS also cited Lavrov as saying that Russia had received no clarification from the U.S. regarding Trump's order.
And that's all for this evening's edition of News 360. You can find news on 3news.com. I am Aisha Yakubu Khalid.
And I am Noble Crosby. And thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Good evening.
Good evening.